everybody that listens to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, I won't say everybody, actually, that's a bad generalization, but many people that listen to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard have told me I need to check out the OCs. Now, this was a juggernaut I had not necessarily realized I was jumping up to. And I say that because when I looked up the OCs, I was overwhelmed with the amount of stuff and the amount of names that they had. And the amount of spellings for OCs. So I'm pretty eager to jump in. I listened to the OCs. I heard one song of theirs. It was like a live song, and I saw them with the two drummers. I loved it. But the front man, I think his name is John Dwyer. I'm pretty sure. I know the last name is Dwyer, but that dude had such a friggin' cool presence. He had such a big voice. He filleted the microphone like we all love. Just like Stu, or I guess rather maybe Stu fillets the microphone like Dwyer does. But there's just such an energy, a hugeness to the sound. And I really, really, really dug what I heard. And I was like, when I heard it, I was like, okay, immediately there's an album going in the hopper. Because the catalog is so huge, if you happen to be watching this video or you happen to be in the Twitch comments or Twitch chat, do me a favor, kind of help guide me further from here if I decide like this is something I want to continue to revisit. Because again, the catalog is vast. So this is Mutilator Defeated at Last by the OCs. So we're gonna hop into this thing. Before I hit the play button though, it's just very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It does go a long way to help me out. And if you really like what you see, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, or join us on Twitch. These people over here are the best people. Come discover music with us. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. I would love to listen to music with you. Guys, let's check this out. This first song, the opener, Web, the OCs on Mutilator Defeated at Last. Here we go. Oh. Some fuzzy wobble bass. Real fuzzy. Good call. Thank you. I love this reverby sound. Is it a whammy pedal or like a Pog that he's got turned on at the moment? I love the squeal he has. Is this that? Oh. Is this that melody maker he was playing? You know what band this sounds a lot like? You know what band this sounds a lot like? This sounds like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. It sounds like it. This sounds like Giz. Like, that sounds like high-pitched stew. They even said woo. Yeah, it definitely seems to me that Giz might have taken some inspiration from this band. This is such a different sound for what I heard them do before, though, which is so cool to me. Have they always been a 2-drum band? Is this particular one a 2-drummer sound? I actually want to visit the lyrics really quick. Office trip Saturday night. On Saturday night, must you turn off all the lights, and they spin a web unseen, the dark is quiet a scream. Unawares the people sleeping, languid on the bedroom ceiling. Flip my cuff and wipe my feet on your faces while you sleep. Woo. Sticking blood upon my sleeve in the darkness underneath. Look up here at high above you. Look to sleep and drop my club. All you love, I shall infringe. Down my web I drop right in. Underneath the human skin, I'm drilling holes and lingering. Woo. What's up, handsome Shadowfox? This guitar sound. I made the Nick Zinner comparison when I was listening to Ambi and Gum earlier. But I do hear the Nick Zinner kind of guitar sound here with the big fuzzy, low E string played in the guitar as kind of your rhythm mechanism instead of doing chords. The synth stuff as well is so tasty. And the drums are so fast, man. Like these bass slides. Dude, the energy to this was heavy. This is definitely like kind of like early days raw energy of Giz kind of sound. And for Dwyer, I did not realize how much truly Stu kind of modeled what he does after what I'm kind of hearing here. Like, obviously, at the point that this album was released, like, Giz and Ossies are maybe not quite to the level of contemporaries yet, right? But they're like, yeah, I mean, I'd say so. They're probably contemporaries at this point, right? So, but I don't know. Hearing what's in Dwyer's wheelhouse now and hearing what I've heard Stu do, I get there's definitely an influence there. Holy cats. Withered Hand. Very immediately ambient. Very kind of dark atmospheric here. This snare drum roll with this bass line. This is what was just playing. You remember this part? You remember, and then like it just straps on the turbo giga nuts and 0 to 150. I think we like the OCs here. What do you guys think? I like this a lot. Honestly, weirdly enough, part of me is brought to part of me in this particular one is brought to the Misfits, like the Skulls era Misfits, without the crooning Elvis voice of Danzig. There's definitely like a he's got more of a growly and not baritone-y voice, but again, this is definitely another song where you hear his dynamic voice where he goes from the high-pitched thing to being able to yell and present energy, but then he has this roar, kind of like an ambi sound, like when he's doing the Gila Monster song. This guitar sound wails. How does he make it? I could figure the chugging sounds out, but how does he make that crazy squealy frig sound? I can't help but think of The Big Lebowski anytime I hear Face Down in the Muck. So just understand, to me, when I heard that lyric, Walter from The Big Lebowski popped right into my head. Neither, that's a little subtext to my brain for you. Donnie was a good movie. This noise is mega, dude. This reminds me of Joy Division. This sound reminds me of Joy Division for sure. What is the sound I'm thinking of? I'm trying to think of the Joy Division song. This heaviness, it might be it is Transmission. Just okay. Just yeah. All right. I've seen everything I need to see. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Yeah, I didn't think so. Withered Hand was a dope song, and it reminded me of Joy Division, and I love Joy Division. They're so good. Rest in peace, Ian Curtis. Long live New Order. His voice does so many things, dude.
The same pages of who will knock upon my door. All is fine, all is right. A teenage queen is locked up tight tonight, and on the streets they cry hooray. The queen will live to see another day.
Oh, buddy. I have not CH.
She's slipping right away. She feels sick and tired, but who's on the street? She asks, where are my sweet pages? Oh yeah, will they knock upon my door? All is fine, all is right, little queen. She's cried herself to sleep last night, but fear not, my little queen. The people still love you, it would seem.
I love this song. Like, it really, the sound, there's so many different kind of sounds it's brought me to. Like, different songs have kind of brought me to different like band and influences, like things I think kind of sound like it or whatever. But I think what's interesting about the way that they present this is it really does sound like it's him still, right? Like, and I'm hearing his work and what I've heard other people do, and I feel like maybe I'm realizing that so many of the bands I listen to have been circulating around this band, as all of you guys have told me, and this is a long overdue visit, I suppose, but just hearing it and recognizing like this is music I would have been vibing with the whole time anyways. But then getting to kind of see a little bit behind, the genius everybody tells me that John Dwyer is, it's nice kind of seeing that and feeling like, yeah, I'm seeing it. Everybody's right. It's not like one of those things I find myself disagreeing with. So it's definitely nice. And I like that I don't feel like it's a carbon copy of Giz, but I like that I hear that there's influence in what they do. I also like that what they do is still distinctly different from one another. I love all of the guitar noises. I love how big and ambient it is. I love that it feels like everything he does is on the bridge pickup, but he finds a way to make dynamic tones with the bridge pickup. It's so cool. This song "Poor Queen" was actually wonderful, and I also really liked the very end of it. Right, like the way that, I don't know, she cried herself to sleep last night, but fear not, my little queen. The people still love you, it would seem. There's just a little bit of a hopefulness to it, and I enjoyed that. Turned out light. Here we go. Is he playing with the Pog, or does he have a whammy pedal of some sort? There's a little bit of a James Mercer from the Shins kind of high-pitched sound, but he is more nasally than James Mercer. I've listened to a lot. Yep, them too. Again, another banger. That was a faster energy banger. Definitely, I could see earlier days White Stripes, or more specifically, a Raconteurs comparison to that. But I think it's a little bit more of a stretch. This feels a little bit more weirdly enough, it feels like this is, I want to say more punk, less artsy, but because I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're both dudes that are probably pretty seriously aggressive about how their art is handled. So, but I guess I just feel like maybe John Dwyer is kind of the realer of them in that context. I don't know. Maybe just in character. They're both fantastic musicians. Don't get me wrong. Jack White is huge, but yeah, I don't necessarily think that they're there to compare. Lupine Ossuary. Can I get a genius? Or is this an instrumental? Whoa. The fuzz tones in his guitars are tasty. There's such a big chug here. The guitar is so gnarly. I can't do it. I don't remember. Did you guys say that this is the 2-drum era? Yes, 2-drum era, got it. Oh, wow. It's these big reverby, like surf punky, like squealing fuzzy guitar solos just make me so happy. Especially because he finds a way to make them go over top of already big and fuzzy sounds. And again, having like the synth accenting inside of it, it's just... The bass line run there. Is he switching pickups to make that happen? Is that what's happening? I definitely think that these guys would be huge to see live. What are you talking about this? For it to fuzz out like that and then go to nothing, it was just a nice little, like, a loud decay. And then there's the vibrato or the tremolo on the guitar there at the end. You know, so what I honestly, I think it's pretty interesting that on the guitar parts, he very frequently is just playing one string at the top, or like maybe power chords, right? Like maybe 3 strings total. But primarily what you're hearing is like just a bunch of strumming of a string while the bass line does its own thing. Like, it's not like he's recreating the bass line, but he, in a lot of ways, plays the guitar like a guitar and like a bass in some ways at the same time. It's super, super cool. But it's a very distinct style. And then he has the ability to kind of layer in all of these other intricacies with, again, things like making the pickups go crazy by making that squeal, all of his different, like tones that you find he can accomplish. They'll be in Arizona. Oh, dope. That means I'll probably see them when they're here in Arizona. This next song is the most popular on the album, Sticky Hulks. Here we go. Oh, a little less energy to begin with here. I don't know why, but I'm thinking of Jefferson Airplane right now. I'm hearing Pink Floyd as well. I didn't realize that they could get big ambient and spacey like this. I've only ever heard the punk rock and hard slapping energy, you know what I mean? I'm certainly enjoying the dynamics here. Oh, dude, I really, really, really loved that we still got the loud guitar moment, and then we went back down to the quiet part. That was just so ballsy good. Yeah, I think that's a good run it back moment. Because you go from this quiet thing, and then bum, 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 bum. And that. Definitely a little bit of a fell in love with the girl guitar sound there by the White Stripes. Right there. want to revisit that guitar solo. The way it ended with the pan, not pan kind of psych out thing that happened. It sounded like it was panning, but it didn't fully commit to panning. But then it definitely did a kind of pan and move sort of thing. Headphone listeners, dig in on this moment. It's like it oscillated, but it was like the delay pedal was in pan or something. I don't know, but that was such an interesting sound. It oscillated, but it didn't seem like it was a self-oscillation sound. That I don't know. No, P-A-N-N-E-D. It panned. I totally missed it. This reminds me of something, but I can't think of what it is, and it's not really that important. I'm just kind of enjoying the psychedelic music break, followed by that. This is huge, dude. What's up, Blade Master? Double bends. It almost feels like it's slowing itself down. And then they kind of listen to that. Dude, this is such nice tone balance. And the sustain on these fuzzy sounds. That's the sound. It's such a nice little ad lib. Was that my favorite so far? Honestly, I felt like Web opened it up super, super hard. I really enjoyed Web. I think that the opener was probably pretty good. I think Sticky Hulks is probably my favorite on the album. Just as far as dynamics, I liked seeing the dynamic part of like going from psychedelia to really big and fuzzy guitar wailing to like soft and kind of like vibey. There's just something nice about it, you know? Next song is Holy Smoke. Oh. It's like acoustic guitar with like atmosphere ambience. The guitars and the drums are not. The bass here is wonderful. I love that. I can't get past what this bass line is doing. And then that resolves that uplifting part right there. It's nice. Honestly, this song is a banger. Even for, like, I mean, not the instrumentals can't be bangers, but, like, this song is an instrumental banger. That moment where it goes to that part. And I'm like hearing strings in the back. No, it's atmosphere synth. I thought that was strings. I was wrong. Dang, good. That's a Mellotron. Yeah. I've got 2 songs to go. Got to run an ad. Sorry about it, but it's the only way it's going to work. Here we go. Running an ad. So, yeah. Guys, we have 2 to go. Rogue Planet and Palace Doctor. I really like that one. So again, how many of you guys are hearing this with me for the first time? Just so I have a concept. Like who's new to this particular album? Hey, good night, Deuterino. Love you, friend. I'm hearing Silent Hill theme in the last one. You know, Ladarko, I could see that a bit. This is also a first time for me. So how are we feeling first timers? For those of you that are first timing it with me, are you guys feeling like this like OCs or something you'd return to? Because I'm definitely feeling like OCs are something I'm going to return to. Like, I'm definitely going to do another album. I don't know which album from here I'm going to go to, but like as far as I am right now, I've absolutely decided on doing another one. listening to it all the way through, but I know all the songs. Gotcha. Yeah. See, I it's like I don't. I've been listening to music that intersects with them, but I haven't necessarily been, privy to anything that they've done. If you want to continue with OC's journey, a weird exit should absolutely be next. So, okay, people have opinions on the next album. The best stuff I've heard from them, admittedly not super familiar, definitely solid. I just heard this last two songs and they were both amazing. Yeah, Yiga. I've definitely been thinking, honestly, to me, I'd say that the first song and Sticky Hulks, which you heard, stand out to me as kind of my favorite, is pretty high on the album pie. Okay, so you got Orc on there already. So yeah, you're just going to have to wait that one out, whoever was super excited, which is also one of their best. So have you listened to the whole catalog, Rum? Like, do you feel like, have you jumped into a pretty good chunk of their music? I almost plugged in my... I still have to set up my guitar equipment so that I can like try to play electric guitar as I go. But like I've been frequently hearing more and more music that I occasionally just want to try to jam little parts to, because I'm like, I wonder if this is how they do it. Ad break should be over as of now. Beautiful. Okay, here we go. Last two songs, end of the ad break. Last two songs, Rogue Planet. Here we go. People were pretty juiced about this one, so let's see what we got. Jesse Hopkins does it. Ooh. That he did a little like squeal in the middle of there, like he went and then right back. Yes, love little tiddly bits like that, because he had to work for that. He had to move his hand up and then come back down. Like that was a labor of love moment that made it to the album, and I love it. Because those little bits, believe it or not as easy as you think they are, because you got to hit the right note and you got to do it fast. This definitely brings me to like Willoughby's Beach for sure. Such a heavy energy to this. I love it.
It's not too hard to reach it, it's not too far to fly. This time they cut you open and flames you to the outside. Too deep, turn out of sight, they spinning on a spin. This problem's better when there's nothing you can do.
And he throws the rhyme at the end. Oh, what I love him. There's this old punk band that's big if you're a fan of the punk scene, but not necessarily a huge act if you don't go out of your way to listen to punk rock or old punk rock. But this reminded me a little bit of a Fear track, like a without the voice, right? Like, but I'm similarly surprised that like the voices that come out of Dwyer's face come out of his face, because I've heard like what seems to be several different voices coming out of his face. But I definitely felt like, musically speaking, just the fast songs, like, you know, the short fast songs, like the sub 2 minute songs, when you get into that territory of punk rock, like I think you have to visit Fear. So definitely look up Fear if you haven't. Last song, closer of what has been a banger of an album, already getting a download and definitely getting a next another album listen. We're finishing up with Palace Doctor. Here we go. They certainly toe the lines of like punk rock, surf punk, and psychedelia, and I love it. This guitar work is lovely. This reverby, he really does play a lot of bass note heavy guitar parts, and I like that because it's definitely like a characteristic of him, like of his own. Like, well, I say of his own, and I've described the comparison to Nick Zinner. I think Nick Zinner is maybe a more effect-driven guitar player, and it seems like, you know, John Dwyer is more of a punk rocker with, you know, guitar mentality. But I guess the way that they approach their rhythm playing parts, I see a lot of Nick Zinner comparison here. And this kind of wet, loose bass here, like it's letting its notes ring out, so they kind of interfere with one another. So it has this really, like, it kind of creates a dissonance within itself, almost as if it's like letting notes ring together that aren't supposed to ring together. It creates kind of a muddiness that I really am finding brings a character to this song. Like the spaghetti western sounding guitar here. there's maybe Polygon, like poly vibes in this one. Polygon Duanalandimus vibes. It's a strong closer, dude. Even just this, I love that. Real tom heavy drums. We're coming back to OCs, guys, for sure. Big fan. I don't know. I feel like the way that ended, it ended on a good vibe, right? Because like if you were to listen to this on repeat, it would start over and you just get hit with that mega raw energy and web. I certainly found myself big in love with this album. Already downloaded it. This was so good. And realistically speaking, again, it's so coded in my favorite band. Or my favorite band is so coded in the noises I'm hearing here. I kind of want to revisit just early, like what's the earliest they did? So 3 years before I think Giz formed, I guess. So and again, they definitely seem to be guys that put out a heckin' ton of albums, which I love because that means I have a lot of catalog I get to visit. I really, really, really found myself enjoying the heck out of this. Again, as far as the genius behind the music, the dynamics behind the blend of the genres that we heard, hearing that so many of the bands that I'm just obsessed with lately have been listening to that and feeling like I could hear the inspiration from this band and the bands I love. There's just a lot going for it. This was just a good night all around of listening to music. 2 mega banger albums. I was a big fan. Guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.